Okay. Hung up there on the Hangout there. Okay, hello. I'm Teacher Oakley. Welcome to Verbling. For the next hour, this coming hour, we're basically following up my last hour's class here at Verbling, in which we learned some idioms and expressions which were related to success and ambition. We're going to talk about ambition in this class and maybe debate ambition a little bit. Is it necessary to be ambitious to be successful? Is there such a thing as too much ambition? I don't know. We'll talk about it. I'd like to hear your views. Okay, that's enough of an introduction. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Okay. How are you today?
I'm fine too, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, we're going to talk about ambition and how relatively good or bad ambition is. Are you an ambitious person?
Well, right now, I could describe myself like a really ambitious person. But years ago, I wasn't.
Really?
Yes, yeah. That is the reason I changed my life and I got into my own, can I say into my own business?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct.
With the help of my family, you know. And yeah, I want to become a really successful woman. But years ago, I just was thinking about going out, dancing, drinking, and you know, I didn't care about life, money, my future, blah blah blah. So I became more ambitious. Well, actually, really ambitious over the years.
Okay. Now, all right. Now, do you think that that's normal, or do you think it's more normal to be ambitious when you're young and then kind of lose your ambitions? Which is more normal, do you think? I don't know. I'm curious.
I think it depends on the person, but people usually are more ambitious when they are young, you know, with the future ahead of them and life ahead of them, and you know, then as people getting older, they are losing that ambitious. I think, as I can see. As far as I see, I can see. As far as I can see.
That's it. As far as I can see. All right.
Yes.
Excellent. Good use. Thanks for using that phrase. That phrase is used as a transitional to express your opinion. And interestingly and correctly, as native speakers often do, we usually use these kinds of phrases at the beginning of a comment to introduce our opinion, but this particular one, as far as I can see, is often used at the end after we express our opinion. So good job, actually.
Thank you.
It's really the way native speakers tend to use it. Okay. All right. Okay. Along this, all right. Thinking again, still exploring this idea of young and old and ambition. Is ambition, sorry, bad English, are ambition and motivation the same thing? Or can they be, or are they different things?
Well, I think it's different, you know, but both are related each other. Could I say that?
Yes.
Ambitious could be the purpose, you know. The purpose. Well, I'm ambitious because I want to get that. Why are you want to get that? That is the motivation. Because I want to get a better life, or because I want to be attractive to women. If I get a rich man, something
Yeah.
like that. So I
Okay.
think you have a motivation in order to get something, and for that you need to be ambitious.
Okay.
So
I see. That's
different meanings, different well things, but related to each other.
okay. Um, partly
That
I,
is my view. That is my view. Sorry.
partly I'm bringing that up to make a point. I agree with you, and that you did a very good job of defining the terms. But colloquially, conversationally, English speakers sometimes say, for example, for like short-term things, oh, I'm not very motivated today. I have all this work to do, and I'm just not motivated to do it, which is totally correct. But occasionally, and perhaps incorrectly, you will hear native speakers say, I'm not feeling very ambitious today. I don't know,
Today, this is one day.
just
No,
one day. Right.
and it's okay to say that because in Spain you
It is.
never use ambitious just for one day.
In English, you do, and that's exactly the point I wanted to make. In English,
Okay.
it's actually common to say, I'm not feeling very ambitious today. I don't think I'm going to get a lot done.
Well, that
Uh,
means, as I can see, no. It sounds to me to be don't feel like walking today.
yeah,
Walking.
that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. Yeah. So it's very similar. Basically, sometimes ambitious, especially short term, like today, is used
Okay.
basically the same way motivation is used sometimes.
Okay.
Just a common usage. All right.
Well, it's good to know that if I hear
Yeah.
some native speaker saying ambitious, because my idea of being ambitious is always in a long term, in the future. I'm
Right.
ambitious, I'm really ambitious, you
And
know.
you're right. And if you hear a native speaker saying it without any time reference, they are talking about long term.
Okay, get it.
Okay. Only when you hear I'm not feeling ambitious today. Oh, they will specify when they mean it that slightly different way.
Hmm.
I'm not feeling very ambitious this week. I have the next 2 weeks off, so I'm not really feeling like getting a lot of work done before I go on vacation.
Well,
Something
it
like
could be
that.
a kind of metaphor. Metaphor.
Yeah, kind of.
Can
Yeah.
have, not exactly, but it could be, in the
Well,
way.
yeah, not exactly what it means, but right. Um, is it possible? Is it possible for a human being to have too much ambition? Well,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
yes, I think it's possible. Everyone is different, but I think it's good to be ambitious. But then when you pass the line and you want your life just is focused on being ambitious, and you lose most things you are besides you, such as family, friends, things like that, then in that point, ambitions could become a negative thing, you know?
Okay. At that point.
At that point, thank you. At that point,
Okay. Who's who's maybe? Can you give me an example of a person who maybe is or was too ambitious?
well, in my group of no, known people, could I say that?
Well,
I don't know
no.
someone close to me, who is too much ambitious, but maybe some famous celebrity businessman. It could be.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me first of all let's clarify known people. Okay, for you, I don't know. Moses may be a known person to you. William Shakespeare may be known to you, but you don't know him.
No, impossible. So what is the expression to say my group of close people around me, my family, my friends, you know?
Well, often we use the, here, this may be useful for you, in my circle.
My circle, yes. That was exactly what I was looking for. Yeah,
okay.
My circle.
And sometimes we specify in my social circle, and my family circle, and my business circle.
Yes. To be more precise.
Yeah. Precise.
Precise. Thank you. Precise. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You know, well, if you think about, Hitler, Napoleon Bonaparte, perhaps they were a little too ambitious.
Yes, I think so. So for you, one person who is still alive, what do you think is ambitious right now in this world?
Can I say Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was the first one to came to my. He was the first one to come to my mind, but well,
Yeah, I mean,
I think he has a private life too, you know. So it's not really.
why would you say Donald Trump is too ambitious?
Well,
other people want to become president, for example.
It's just not because he wants to become a president. It's just the things he got so far. You know, I think he came from the the high level, the low level. How can I say that in the society?
Yeah, he upper. He came from the upper level of society. Sometimes upper crust we actually use. He definitely comes from an upper crust family, for example. We'd use that as a.
Yes, and he became one of the most rich, no, one of the richest person in the States, and actually, in the world, well, he's quite rich, yes.
Yeah.
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 Yes, he is. Oh, yes. So for me, you know, that is only possible for a person who had or have to be or ambitious in the past.
Yeah. Okay.
Without any ambition, you can get those sexy.
Okay. Yeah. He's already become successful in one, or I guess he's become successful, depends on your measuring stick, but in business. But now he's trying to leverage that success. Then he became successful in reality television as a television popular social television star. Then that wasn't enough, so now he wants to be president. That's why I would say he's too ambitious. He wants to be successful in like every single possible facet of human existence.
Yeah, all things. Yeah, you're right. Just not in business.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me. Okay. Ken has joined the class. Hi, Ken.
Yes, hello.
Ken, we're discussing ambition as a general topic, and we were just discussing, is it possible to be too ambitious? Notice, by the way, in English, when you use too, that is double O-O-T-O-O, too ambitious, I am implying it's a negative thing.
Yeah,
you know,
I see.
Okay, he has too much money, I'm implying that's negative.
Right.
Okay, is it possible to be too ambitious?
It's possible, but it's negative actually. Too ambitious means totally negative. Like Donald Trump, he had already had maybe money and fame, you know. And then another ambitious is he didn't he has not satisfied yet.
Still not satisfied.
Yeah, that's troublesome. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Here's the problem. Maybe when you reach your ambitions, and then that's not enough.
Mm.
Enough is never
And
enough.
if he has a political skill or more kind of correct opinion about people or society, it could be. But it seems he doesn't have such kind of sense, or
He's very
yeah,
skillful at manipulating people.
yeah, just manipulating people. But
Mm.
it's not enough to to make this society better. Just manipulate people, guide us a long way.
Regarding his success, I just have to say, everyone says and automatically thinks he's a successful businessman. He started because he comes from such a well-to-do, or wealthy family.
Mhm.
He started with the amount of money. If he had, like every ordinary working person, simply put his money in a very straightforward bank, IRA, individual retirement account, he would actually have more money than he actually has
Mhm.
by doing nothing, just passively investing. He would actually be richer than he is today. So when people say he's a successful businessman, I kind of like, he could have done nothing and made more money. How is he successful? He's 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 had multiple bankruptcies. I don't know.
Maybe his personality is not like searching for such kind of stable thing.
Mm.
Maybe he's very showy. He seems very showy, actually.
Do
So,
you think? Okay.
yeah, kind of, appear at the TV and, being a reality show star, and next step is politician. But
Yeah.
I really doubt he is really trustworthy as a politician or ability of the politician is
Okay.
very.
All right. All right, Ken, I just want to share with you a vocabulary, colloquial phrase. You said he's a little showy, or maybe he's a little showy. That is a gross understatement. All right, this co-location, a gross understatement. You're way understating it. In other words, maybe he's a little showy. Actually, he's ridiculously showy.
Yeah, ridiculously showy.
Yeah. So, all right. Right. If you understate, say something, you under exaggerate.
He just agitates people. That's very dangerous on politics, actually.
He what? Say again?
Just agitate people.
Agitates people.
Yeah. It's very dangerous. Yeah. Thinking back the history, that agitation made a lot of tragical events in the history. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Or, in my opinion, I agree with you anyway. Okay. All right. Okay, all right, I guess we all agree, the three of us here anyway, agree it's possible to have too much ambition. Overly ambitious is how we would say that. Now, is it possible to have no ambition at all? Let me go to Rebecca first. Can a person have no ambition? Is that even possible? Would you?
Yes, it's possible. As I said previously, everyone is different, and it depends on the person. So there are some people who just want to survive, and that means as long as they have a place to live and something to eat is enough for them, and they are happy, and it's okay, if they are happy. That is good. They just want to live.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Their ambitions, maybe they're still ambitious. They want to have somewhere to live. That's I guess a minimal ambition.
Well, that is it's basic things.
Survival. Survival needs.
Basic things. But maybe if I want to buy a car, well, Maybe for that I need to, work more. It's
Okay.
a kind of ambitious to get a car. So
Okay.
it depends on the person and depends on the level.
All right. So okay, with a minimum of ambition, is it possible to be successful in life
Hmm.
with a very low ambition?
I think so because the so question is what is a being successful?
Yeah,
It's,
very
yeah,
relative.
yes. I think my criteria, if I satisfy with my life, it's my success of my life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Good word. Criteria. Okay. Um, right. So given that, if you have relatively low ambition, your criteria, you you set your sights on kind of lower goals. Um, so it might be actually easier with lower ambition to be successful in that case,
Mm.
right? As opposed to if you won't be happy unless you're the president.
I think so because the being a president is maybe one ambitious, but being a president is not so easy task.
No,
They don't have a freedom. They have a huge responsibility. So
clearly not.
yeah.
Clearly, it's not so easy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's basically a 1 in 320 million. President of the United States, 1 in 320 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obama appeared Jim Kimmel Live, and
Yeah.
he talked about electric car, and he tried to drive an electric car in a White House garden, but
Yeah.
secret police came to him. You don't, you cannot drive a car. We cannot allow that. So he even can drive the car now.
Yeah. He can't. He's not allowed to have a smartphone either.
Ah, yeah, I see.
He's not allowed.
Mm.
Like sometimes for the president of the United States, we're a little off topic, but still, I think it's funny. He's not allowed to drive. He's not allowed to have a smartphone. He's like a little kid.
Yeah.
Really, it's kind of wild. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird. He's not allowed to touch any kind of weapon ever. He's treated like a small child in a way. It's funny. Anyway, okay, Ken, let me stick with you for a minute. Can we describe countries
Mhm.
as ambitious
Mhm.
or unambitious?
Yeah, I think so. Like a territory or a missions, or economical thing also.
Maybe I should say cultures. Well, country culture. Yeah, culture.
Culture. Ambitious culture. I
Like
don't know.
Japanese culture, Filipino culture, American culture, Spanish culture, Chinese culture.
I don't think the culture in that way. Ambitious connotates politics, metaphors, or territory, or as a nation. But culture, yeah, some culture is very influential to the world. Yeah, right.
Hmm.
But I don't think they have very ambitious at the beginning, at the at the very first stage. But once they became popular, maybe they might have ambitious to promote this, for example, this song or this type of genre of song to promote abroad. Might mainly gain more profit or maybe being more famous, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I mean cultural like that way, but okay, I'll give you an example. In the United States, as a child being educated in the United States, oh my God, we constantly hear, reach for the stars, go for it. There's a million little slogans and expressions that we're brainwashed with. Always, basically be super ambitious is the message.
I see.
Be an individual. Okay, reach for the stars. All right, whatever. You get the idea.
Mm.
Now I live in the Philippines, where probably the most common proverb or expression I know in Philippines is Well, at least we have enough rice for today,
Mhm.
which basically, metaphorically, is
Yeah.
about as limited an ambition as you can have.
Mhm.
We
Mm.
won't starve to death today. Yay! But it's you got to understand when they say that, it's not like, oh well, it's like, yay! At least we have
Mm.
enough rice for today. They say it as a very, very positive
Mhm.
idiom or expression for
Could I
them.
say something? And you can see the
Yes.
position of both countries. Look where is the States and look where is the Philippines. So you
True.
can see that. Eh?
Absolutely. I totally
Absolutely.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Is Spain an ambitious culture of people? An ambitious society? Maybe that's the word. Maybe society. So,
Well, I
Rebecca?
think we
Yeah.
used to be more than in the past, and I think we are, but we are, to be honest, I don't like Spanish people, I don't like Spanish culture. So, I always say the problem in Spain, the big problem in Spain is there are a lot of Spanish people, always. That is, yeah, our mentality. I don't like our mentality. So,
How do you mean? You need to clarify that.
because I can see other cultures, other way of doing things.
Mm,
And for us, for example, we have to pay taxes. But if I can avoid that, well, I can do it. So how do you pretend to get a rich country if you don't want to pay? It's an example. So that
yeah.
is our mentality, or still to things to, or not being a hard worker. Or I want to buy that, but I don't have money. Well, if you go out and do some job, maybe you can do it, but it's much better to be lying on the sofa. So I say we are a kind of, there's no anyone here from Spain, no? Okay, so we are a lazy society, and I think well, that is a lot of things, get our mentality and our culture. So I saw other cultures, and of course,
Mm.
you know, I say that. Oh, there are a lot of Spanish people here.
Yeah, well, I think cultures change. Look at Spain. I mean, Spain used to be an enormous empire.
Yes, yes, in the
The,
past,
ex-
but
the explorers of the world, the
I know.
trailblazers of the world.
And that
Really.
made me feel that is history. And now is the moment for your country, the States. And in the future,
Yeah.
imagine 500 centuries in the future, maybe the powerful country in the world is from Africa. We don't
Maybe.
know.
We
That is
don't know.
history.
Yeah.
Imagine, first of all was Rome, the Roman Empire, and Greek. You know, before that was Mesopotamia. You know Mesopotamia?
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know the name in English. So now
Same.
is the moment. Yeah, okay. Now, this period of the world, this period of the history, the powers are the States, China is coming soon, and Israel. They have the money, they have the power right now.
Yeah.
Things change.
It changes, and I think I agree. Again, I would say the Filipinos are slowly becoming more ambitious as generally speaking in society. And I would say Americans are becoming less ambitious and more prone to sitting around watching the Kardashians and taking for granted every stupid thing Donald Trump says instead of researching it or bothering to actually educate themselves. I think Americans are becoming lazier and lazier.
That
You know.
could be possible, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ken,
Mhm.
okay, with the backdrop of what we've just mentioned about Spain, United States, Philippines, how about Japan?
Mhm.
Of course, Japanese are largely regarded as a very industrious people,
Mhm.
very hardworking, and ambitious.
I
Is
don't.
that true? I mean, that's that's the stereotype. Like, Rebecca, would you agree that is it the stereotype that
Yes,
Japanese are very
yes, I
hardworking?
agree. Very constantly, you know,
Constantly, yeah.
constantly, you
Okay.
know, and then, yeah, that is my idea. Yes.
Yeah, that's the stereotype, really. So, for two-part question, Ken, is this stereotype correct? And given what, as a backdrop, what we were talking about changing cultures, do you think Japan is becoming more or less ambitious and motivated in the world?
I think people. That's why I don't like Japan, because Japanese actually it's not the personal trait that we have a strong peer pressure in the society. So
Mm,
Japanese company requires long time working hour. So people cannot get out of it just so that's a bad part of our culture or society. And 1960s, or when economic development happened, many people have maybe society have an ambition. But after the bubble economy burst, you know,
hmm
uh, so some people realize we cannot, improve economy anymore. But some people still cling we can improve economy like in the past. But considering the facing aging society or a lot of different factors, and Japanese people and government is very conservative for accepting immigrants. So uh, a lot of factor, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly.
yeah. But the current prime minister is pretty right-wing type, and he want to change constitution. But to change the constitution in his own way, he needs to have a support from people. So in order to get that, he just proposed an unrealistic idea to improve the economy. But I think it will fail in the end. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
and as you said, like maybe current industrial nation says, "Oh, we need to improve, and economical develop continue forever." Maybe I think
yeah.
it's illusion actually, and we don't need to. Even if we cannot do that, we can be happy like Filipino people. If we
hmm
satisfied with this situation, that I think that's a happiness of human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good point. In reference, Filipinos are very happy to say, at least I have enough rice for today, with a big smile on their face, and they are generally a very happy people.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
absolutely true. Um, uh, is okay? Is ambition? How can I say this? As ambition the spark or the engine? I don't know. Behind exploration, innovation, whether it's physical exploration of actual physical space, outer space, the oceans, whatever, or whether that's technological advances. Is the driving force ambition, human ambition?
Yeah, I think so. And if it, for example, a lot of gadgets which appeared Star Trek or some other science effects, and not the scientific, not, and I forgot SF. Now it realized no, appeared it as real in our
Yeah.
life nowadays. So because researcher, when the researcher were a kid, they watched that shows or they read these novels. They had an ambitious ambition of maybe making that type of gadget. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of the figures. Yes.
Okay. Um, okay. It appeared. It has appeared.
It
Talking about
has appeared.
something that okay, all right, these gadgets and gizmos have appeared. So it happened in the past. It's relevant to now,
Okay.
especially when you're doing a comparison like that.
Mhm.
Present perfect tense. Also, that show, these books, it should be those.
Those.
Okay,
Yeah.
this and those. Well, this and that. These and those.
Okay.
Refer not only to relative space, this pencil, because it's close to me, and if I throw it across the room, it's that pencil,
Mhm.
but also in time. So you're talking about in the far past, then it's far away. So it's at that time, it's those movies that the people saw when they were children, like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, that's a good point, and yeah, it's amazing, you know. Okay, I'm still looking for the transporter. That's the one I'm looking for. That will certainly change all of modern society and culture. I'm still waiting for that one. I like the tricorders though. We have cell phones. Beam me up, Scotty. Will you think humankind will ever be ambitious enough or get their act together to move into outer space?
But it could happen in the future, but not now. Our technology is not reaching that. Has not reached that level yet.
Actually, in reality, I've read quite a few articles where we do have the technology, but we don't have the ambition. We could go to another solar system. Of course, there's the time factor. We have the technology to do it right now. We have the material to do it right now.
Mhm.
No one wants to invest the money or the time or the effort, the ambition to actually do it.
Yeah. Actually, now the researcher is living in a small shelter in Hawaii because atmosphere is very similar to Mars. So in the past, that experiment failed because researcher cannot tolerate living in a small space a long time. Maybe it takes 1.5 hours to go to Mars and return 1.5 hours. So maybe not only the technology, but also our psychological issue. One is a hurdle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's holding its back. That is absolutely true. Yeah, I read about that experiment as well. So I'm familiar with what you're talking about. Yeah, it didn't go so well, and not because of technological problems like having source of food and recycling waste and all those kinds of things, but actually because of the sociological and psychological factors. Small group of people stuck in a box for a long time. Didn't work out too well. Yeah. Okay. Rebecca, what do you think? Do you think humankind will ever be ambitious? Now here I have to be careful if I say ambitious enough to explore other solar systems or motivated enough. Motivated enough might be another case.
Yes, true, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they will be able in the future, but no now, and no, could I say, in a short term. They will be able in a long term because I think you said they have the things to do it, but I
Sure.
don't think so.
You
Otherwise,
don't.
they will be there right now. Imagine America or Russia will be there if they could, but if they are not yet, it's because they can't. You know,
Okay. Well, maybe Ken was right.
imagine that potential
Maybe they
for them.
can't. Maybe they can't for psychological or social factors, but they certainly can technologically. Otherwise, how do you explain we have probes on Mars? We have probes that have already several probes that have already left the solar system, and probes that land on comets. The European project. Oh heck, you've got like
Maybe.
India sending a mission to Mars, and yeah, we have the technology.
Okay,
Sure.
that is your view. may I say something?
Sure.
May I say
That's my
something?
view. Yeah.
There's a rumor, a rumor I say here in Spain. You are American, but there's here a quote, you know.
Hmm.
Some people say when America went to the moon was not real. That was a movie,
Hmm.
and they cheat the world. So
Yeah.
over the years, I start thinking about that, and now I thinking, well, maybe that is possible because think they didn't go back so
I
far.
will.
Why?
I will.
Why they didn't go back?
I have one response to that, and I'm not even going to argue the point. Go to a university or someplace with a high-powered telescope and look at the moon. You can see the lunar lander with your own eyeballs. You can pick
Yes.
out. They have such advanced telescopes. You can see the American flag is still there. You can. I've seen it with my own eyeballs.
Wait, what are those pictures? No, 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 no.
Where are
Where?
those pictures?
Yes.
Anywhere.
Anywhere? Okay.
Sure,
Okay.
you can find those.
I don't want to offend you. Hey, come
I'm
on.
not. I'm not offended.
No,
I've
no,
seen it with my own
no.
eyes. It's like I'm not offended at all. It's like saying there's no such animal as an elephant. I've seen an elephant, so I believe in elephants. I'm not offended if you tell me elephants are fake. They're all mechanical. I've seen an elephant and
Okay.
I believe they're real, so I'm not offended if you
Okay.
tell me
Well,
they're not real.
I will try to
Whatever.
find more information about that and about
Okay.
those pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Um,
my point is, if they were able to go there, and they have the technology things, why they are not go more often?
that is an awesome question. Why do you think?
I don't know. Why? What? That is my thought. Why they are not going more often? Why they don't have
Do you know?
building houses and
Do you know why
finish
they went? Do you know why they really did it in the first place?
what?
Was it for the betterment of humanity? Was it for scientific exploration? Hell
What?
no. It was to bankrupt the Soviet Union and win the Cold War. It was warfare. The only reason that
Okay.
humankind's really make big advances in anything always boils down to war. It was war. It was a
Wow. What?
competition to bankrupt. It's the same damn thing they did with them in Afghanistan, 15 years later. Same thing.
Yes, but could you write that word, please? Because I can't get it. Whoa. Ah,
War,
whoa, yes, 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 it
war,
is. You're right. Of course, it's a
warfare.
competition always. War is always a competition between among the different countries, of course,
Yeah,
in order to get power
yeah,
and the control, and
yeah.
money. Three
Speaking
reasons, very
speaking of
important.
ambition, going back to ambition, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, another part of this that I find very fascinating is the ambition of countries, hegemony, taking over complete giant areas, and I find it fascinating that the United States can't seem to. They have this weird mental divide that doesn't really make sense. Um, on the other, like, I'm convinced that the moon missions were all just Kennedy's idea to bankrupt Russia, and I know that's what they did in Afghanistan. But and they're doing sanctions right now on Russia. All right, they understand economics as a weapon, and yet they still have this weird divide in their mind that they're two different things, and they can't understand how China manipulates its economy, and China considers it warfare completely, and their economy and national security military are hand in hand, lockstep together in China. They're two parts of
China.
the same thing. In the
Uh-huh.
United States, we try to keep them as two separate things, but they're not. Even the United States will use economics in a ambitious way
Mhm.
to get their own way, achieve their own goals. It's really weird to me. And they
Yeah,
don't
there is a culture.
as an example, Americans can never understand why Chinese use cyber espionage for both military and economic purposes. And Obama was trying to convince them, oh, we understand for political or military purposes espionage. We're not telling you to stop that. We're telling you to stop spying on our companies and stealing their
You
technology.
know what? They are both are fighting to get the power. The power, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right
Right.
now, the war is between China and the States. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I just find that weird that that Obama doesn't, and his administration or Americans, I don't know, don't seem to understand that China do not consider these as two separate things at all. They don't even conceive of it that way. You're asking them to do something they can't even possibly conceive of.
Because it's the mentality, the country, and the culture. Things
That's
that
right.
you are unthinkable. This is unthinkable. We can do that, because it's
Yeah.
our way to do things.
That's right. That's right. It's all, yeah, that cultural idea. Okay. All right. Ken, by the way, when is Japan going to send a mission to Mars?
I maybe no. We
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
We maybe Japan launched some satellite rockets only, so we don't have such. Maybe Japan doesn't have such ambition. As far as I know, because I don't know all of my Japan or Japanese also is thinking, but maybe people's attention more on the economy because pretty much our society is big is economy. So in the modern Japanese society, so many people are interested in how to improve our economy in a good situation.
Yeah.
Maybe that's yes.
All right. Changing the topic or the line of questioning, shall we say, a little bit. Imagine, Ken, that you're a parent.
Mhm.
How could you install
Mhm.
a sense of ambition and some drive in your child?
If I were a parent,
Yeah.
actually it's difficult because I was if my parent trying to do that, maybe I would reject that. So
Okay.
yeah, maybe new generation have different idea, different something to differentiate from their parents' generation.
True.
My time was very strong, so I don't follow. Maybe it caused diverse effect to me if that happened. So I'm not sure current generation, but
yeah, well, you definitely have a strong point. There's, of course, when you talk about raising children, children have different stages in their life. I mean, my kids are now 3 and 4 years old, and I am God. I know this is not going to last. Eventually I'll be the biggest idiot in the world, and everything I say is embarrassing and wrong. I know that. I'm well aware of that. So I'm trying to enjoy it while I can. But okay, how can I instill a healthy sense of ambition in my children? I mean, I'm asking for advice here.
Yes, one
now that they're receptive.
Yeah. One issue is to manipulate information or to limit information they get.
Yeah. That's an interesting.
Nowadays in the internet, on the surface, it seems like free, but I'm not sure. A lot of weird comment on the internet nowadays. Probably maybe some specific interesting organization or party or whatever hire the people to send a comment on a strange, very extreme comment persistently on the internet. So it's one of the vehicle of our society change. Actually, net opinion is became very powerful. even though it's weird. So once it happened, it spread. So maybe Trump phenomenon is also, you know, causing such kind of extreme opinion on the internet as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why are, okay, I don't know if this is ambition, but why are extreme ambitions, sorry, extreme opinions so likely to catch fire on the internet? Donald Trump's a good example. ISIS is another good example.
Maybe
Why is that?
behind that, people, some people are maybe it catches frustrated people, or you know, people try to find their identity. So once I I chatted with a French guy who came from Arabic country, and he said it's very difficult to you know, create his identity there, because in France he's maybe Arabic, but when he returned to Arab country, he people consider him as French. So I said, but that's your identity. You inherited both two cultural elements. But some people think, or they actually face a discrimination, you know. So the scar of that, maybe because of the scar, their mentality became very unstable or aggressive. Maybe such a reason, in my opinion. So maybe people treated fairly enough in the society, maybe they can create maybe such a kind of new type of identity, because it doesn't necessarily French or Arabic, you know. Nowadays, the body kind of boundary of the nation is getting lower, so people move all over, you know, around the world.
Yeah.
Maybe new type of people will appear if they are treated kind of fairly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a modern day okay, what's it called? Like when a tribe moves from one place to another to another. Yeah, anyway. I'm going to found a new culture that we travel the globe. We have 30 different airliners, and we all go to Japan for a season. Then we all go to China. Like the camel riding tribesmen of, you know, Morocco, the desert or something. Okay, all right. So anyway, I did get something from what you said. I'm going off course here, but perhaps for my children, a strong sense of personal identity would be the base, or the base to build on when it comes to not only ambition but other qualities I would like them to develop. Yeah, I think that's reasonable advice, and I will give that some serious thought. Rebecca, do you have any advice for me? How to instill a healthy, not crazy, but a healthy sense of ambition in my children, who, by the way, still listen to me for now?
For your children, in order they start thinking about, okay.
So they're not, you know, like you were when you were young, just partying, going crazy.
Yes, you need to teach them that they need to put effort into get things they want. So don't give them everything and think, if you want this, you need to do something to deserve it. You know? No, okay. What do you want? What do you do? What do you need? You know?
Yeah.
They need to know the idea of work in order to get things.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Otherwise, they think, okay, what I'm going to work hard if I can get everything, you know. There's no point to work hard.
Right. Right. Well, you know, in English, at least American English, don't spoil your children. You spoil your children by giving them whatever they want. Sometimes you.
Yes, spoil is the word. You know, avoid spoiling them.
Yeah. Well, that's also very good advice. Definitely true.
Don't be too hard, okay? But in a good way, always.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't spoil them doesn't mean beat them. I know
Yeah.
that. Not crazy, right? Okay.
Can I
Um,
ask how many children do you have?
78. No, just kidding. I
Oh,
two,
two
two,
children. And ages?
and they are female children of young age. They're 3 and 4. One
Oh, they
just turned
are.
3 and 4.5.
Yes. Wow. You have a hard work ahead of you.
Yes, this is very
Yeah.
true. Uh, Good point. All right.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah. Sometimes, okay, having children, for example, suddenly ambitions that were not there are now there for me. I know from personal experience, ambitions can change. Yeah. Ken, have you ever, what ambitions have changed for you? Is there anything that's changed for you personally? Something.
I think so. My ambitions became more realistic than ever. When I was
Ah,
younger, I have a lot of dream, and I realized, oh, it's not so real. And it's that dream now is not so, how can I say, satisfactory dream nowadays. Because,
mm,
yeah, to satisfy with my life, what I get, what I, have now, or what I give now.
hmm
Yeah. With those things, if we can happy, that's the meaning of happy. Now,
hmm
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not quite so idealistic now.
Yes.
Yeah. I hear that. Yeah, definitely. I definitely could understand that. All right. Yeah, and basically that brings us full circle because that's where Rebecca and I kind of started the whole discussion, and we are out of time. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Ken. Very interesting conversation. I enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. Have a great weekend,
Okay,
actually.
you too. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.